because you can't arrest me if the law doesn't say that I broke the law.
You can have your day in court if you think that the charge is inappropriate.
Well, go get the law and read it to me.
I'm not going to go get the law. Right now, I'm in charge, and you're going to sign your ticket, or you're going to go to jail.
So I have to believe that you also have some sense that there's a connection between what happened to you then and what is happening today.
I would also like to know why you're delivering this outside of your jurisdiction. I should be talking to the sheriffs right now.
Because the crime occurred in the city.
Okay, where were you guys when somebody was threatening our family with death online? Where were you? Naming my family, saying very specific threats. Where were you? Because we filed a report. Where were you?
I have no idea what date that
And I want to ask you again, what is your probable cause for...
You were asked to leave, and you didn't leave.
I told you I wasn't asked to leave, and I was on the phone trying to figure out how best to advise this father. So tell me again.
I just told you.
Okay, and you just admitted to me that the police officer did not come out at the father's request. He was the first one to call the police. They didn't investigate. They haven't gotten his side of the story. So tell me how you're going to issue a citation. And you also said you agreed that it's pretty intimidating when someone forces a mask on a kid and forces them to take it out of the garbage and put it back on.
If that happened, that's fine.
Okay, but you haven't talked to the father to see if that's happened.
And I also said it was probably unreasonable for you to come and show up into the principal's office holding zip ties and threatening to make a citizen's
But I
arrest.
ask you
That's
again,
not the place and
is
time
that illegal? And what does that have to do with trespassing?
Because you were asked to leave.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with zip ties. And you're saying forcing a mask on
It's definitely a factor, though. Right?
Okay, so is forcing a mask on a child and make him take a mask out of the garbage.
I wasn't there and don't know.
Okay, but you haven't talked to the father to get his
But
side.
there might be somebody
Okay,
that
but
has.
you have an obligation to talk to the father.
Not me personally.
Well, before you handed him a citation, you should have talked to
I
him.
didn't hand him a citation.
Well, somebody did.
Right.
Okay, but we're going in circles here because you're saying, ooh, big scary man came down, put some zip ties on the table, didn't threaten anyone, didn't try to arrest anyone. You're also saying, yeah, if they forced a mask on a child, that's child abuse?
But I don't know that those statements are true.
You don't know anything that's true because you haven't talked to both sides.
And that's why if you disagree with the decision, then you can take it up in court and talk to the judge and have them decide if I...
Well, you've lost consent of the governed because you're following corrupt orders. And you're not doing your job right because you need to talk to both sides. And if you're going on probable cause on a choppy video, you don't have all the facts, and you just admitted that to me.
I did talk to both sides.
No, you didn't. You did not. You refused to come and answer this father and investigate.
I wasn't working that day, so...
Okay, but you, the police department, okay? You're trying to squirm out of this, and it's not working.
I'm not trying to squirm.
Yeah, your whole department is. You need to man up and remember the oath that you swore. And you have not talked to the father. Your department hasn't talked to the father. He hasn't been given a fair chance to tell his side of the story. You're saying, oh, a dad walked in with big scary zip ties. Well, he didn't do anything with them. Okay, and you just sit here and told me, oh, did he do this? They said this happened. They said that happened. He said, she said. He has a video of the whole thing. Maybe you should go ask him and watch it. If you want probable cause, go watch the whole thing. Otherwise, right now you're just carrying out orders based on incomplete information. We expect more of our men and women in blue. Okay?
That's an opinion, but okay.
No, that's what you swore to. Okay? These people have been locked down against their will. They've lost their businesses. They've lost their lives. Their kids have missed a year and a half of education. They've had their school district now breaking the law, and you're going to carry out orders, and you're going to make it worse for them. These people who have always backed you, and you're going to do it without getting the full story, without speaking to the other side. You know why? Because right now you're being an order taker. You're being a security guard. And you have an obligation to investigate this.
That's your opinion.
No, that's not my opinion. You work for us. We, the people, you work for us. You know I'm right. You know in your conscience, you know deep down. You know what? I lost my job because I stood up for these people. I worked as a health researcher, writer, and editor. I put it all on the line for these people. And I've heard stories around the country of police and sheriffs standing up and saying, no, we're not going to be a part of oppressing people. And that's what's going on right now. They're being oppressed. And if they get to the point of being desperate to say, maybe we have to make a citizen's arrest, so they'll, a law passed through the legislature, and there's a thing called the Parental Bill of Rights. And the policeman on the phone acknowledged that they were breaking the Parental Bill of Rights because the school does not interfere with the child's healthcare decisions. They don't force a kid to wear a mask. That is a violation of the law. And you can talk to the child. And that is on video with the child saying, and the father saying, my kid was forced into a mask. That is a violation of the Parental Bill of Rights. You need to stand up and do what's right. Okay, look, I have a family of 5 kids. I put my job on the line to help these people. I'm just a guy. I put it all on the line for them. And I came there to help. And you're gonna give me a criminal trespass order because I stayed there to help handle the situation, to make sure this big guy Reese would just stay calm. Okay, do you see what you're doing?
In court, and if the courts agree with you, then they'll deal with it
Well,
appropriately.
no. Why didn't you serve the school staff when their father said they're abusing my child and they're breaking state
I
law?
wasn't part of that investigation. I can't.
Well, you should be.
Everywhere.
You should be. Because guess what? He called you first. He called you first. And you didn't respond to a citizen. But you're going to take marching orders from an administration that's supposed to be working for us. Now, why do you think 200-300 parents went to a school board meeting and wanted to be heard? And why do you think they keep showing up to the meetings? And do you want to be part of that? Do you want to be part of shutting them down and oppressing them? What's next? Australia comes to America with forced vaccinations. You guys going to start tackling people and shoving a needle into them? Because that's where this is headed. So you need to decide, with all due respect, if you're here to protect and serve the people, or you're here to protect and serve an administration that is breaking the law and oppressing people. And you are in the same position that people have been through history saying, I'm just following orders. And what you think about that, because I sat there with your wives, your children, and had them tell me, I'm afraid my husband's not going to come to work, home from work. You know, I said, if this gets really bad, you come here and we'll protect you. A coffee shop owner, okay? I have put it all on the line for you guys. I lost my job. And I'm sure you're probably aware that when I confronted the Board of Supervisors, I got arrested. You didn't know that?
No.
And it was dismissed, it was a false arrest. But you know what the county did? We passed our COVID inspection. Chuck Huckleberry or someone else up there said, no, you put them on the non-compliance list. We got put illegally, unethically on the public non-compliance list. We got death threats. The guy who threatened to kill my family, nothing happened. Nobody talked to him. The arrest got dismissed. But they arrested me for going and saying, look, because you illegally put us up on this wall, my family, my staff have been subjected to death threats. And maybe you should look up Kelly Walker Viva Coffee House. And this is what's going on right now, officer. This is what keeps happening. And the people are going to rise up and say enough. And we have a couple hundred people who've signed this Declaration of Natural Rights. And you know, by the Declaration of Independence, we have the right to alter or abolish a form of government and provide safeguards for our own security. We don't have to put up with this. And I hope you understand that. This is what this country was founded on, is people saying, we are not going to live under tyranny. This country was founded on sovereign rights. And you're coming and telling me on some little pretext because somebody was scared and brought in zip ties and said, do I have to protect the children myself, that now you're going to link that to a trespass order because it's scary? How scary do you think it is for these parents? Do you want to watch some of the videos where families are weeping because their government is oppressing them? Okay, you can pass the buck and say take it to a judge, or you can stand up and do what's right. And remember the oath that you swore to the Constitution. Nobody in that room broke the law. Reese left. Is there a time limit?
You remained after you were asked to leave.
Okay, but what does the law say? Is there a time limit? Is he supposed to leave in 5 seconds or 50 seconds? He wasn't disruptive. He just sat and said, I want more information. Tell me, in the law, is there a time limit? Does it say you have to leave within 2 minutes, 5 minutes?
When you're asked to leave, you need to leave.
Is that what it says? Can you read me the statute?
I can go look it up for you.
Could you please?
Could you sign your ticket? You're not admitting guilt. You're promising that you're going to show up to court.
No, I would
I'm not
like you.
changing my mind on the ticket. You're going to be arrested today for criminal trespassing. You can argue the case however much you want, but you're either
Well,
gonna go
I
to
would like
jail
you to read me
or-
the statute because I want to know exactly what the law says. Because if it doesn't give a time limit, you guys can pound sand. Because you can't arrest me if the law doesn't say that I broke the
You can have
law.
your day in court if you think that the charge is inappropriate.
Well, go get the law and read it to me.
I'm
I
not
have
going
that
to go
right.
get the law. Right now, I'm in charge, and you're going
You-
to sign your ticket, or
you
you're going to
just-
go to jail.
You just said you'll go look it up for
I
me.
will look it up, but I
Okay.
didn't say for you. I'll go look it
Yeah,
up.
you did. You said you'll
But
look it up for
when
you.
someone asks you to leave, you need to vacate, and you guys remained. And that's unlawful.
I want to know what the law
Especially
says.
under the circumstances.
I want to know what
There's
the
a
law
lot more
says.
circumstances that are associated. So you're either going to
So
sign it. I'm
what
not
you're-
going to play games
what
with
you're
you.
what you're saying is you're going to do what I say, or people with guns are going to take you off. A father of 5, right?
You're making those decisions. I'm asking you to sign a ticket that you're not admitting guilt. You're just promising that you're going to show up to your day in court, and then you're trying to play games.
I'm not playing games.
Well, then sign your ticket.
I want to know what the law is. We left.
Why don't you go look up the law then?
Okay, I'll go look it up.
Okay.
Do you have a minute?
No, I
I'm
need you
not-
to sign the ticket so we can be out of here.
Let me take it in here where I can see.
I don't want you going to the house. You can't go in the house.
Hi.
Because you're under arrest. So either sign your ticket.
Excuse me. I just need some light.
There's a light right here.
Okay, I'll sit on the pavement. Where do I sign?
Right here on the ice.
There.
Give you a copy. Get your copy. The court date's listed on the bottom. And in case you need to show up and you can't make it, you can call the courts and reschedule a date. Okay?
Yeah, I hope you sleep well tonight. Order
You as
taker.
well. Have a good day.
And Krista has told me several times, I have not been this afraid since I was a little girl. And tonight you're going to hear more about that story. You're going to understand why socialism and communism sound good at first. And hey, look, free money. The state cares about me. But a lot of people who are drawn in by that swan song just do not understand where this leads. Krista and Merton understand from living in it what it means. And every young person in America needs to hear from people like Krista Reynolds.
And much needed is a shout out to Kelly for supporting me in an effort to get the American people woke regarding the misery we face if we slide into socialism. Kelly is a true patriot, a body in body, mind, and spirit. 1930s, Hitler and the National Socialist Party, Nazis, came into power. At the beginning, it was all good. Germany was in deep depression. People lost everything. Unemployment was high. Many people he promised to recover the economy. Now the control of the population begins. It became mandatory for all those high in industrial and government positions to become card-carrying members of the Nazi Party. Otherwise, bad things were going to happen. And at some point, a national ID card was required for everyone above the age of 15. This ID card was necessary for such things as buying a train ticket.
And there are still people today who will listen to your story and they feel really bad about it. They see zero connection between what is happening today, where to me, I see an absolute repeat of history. So I have to believe that you also have some sense that there's a connection between what happened to you then and what is happening today. And what would you say that you see that is similar?
Yeah, well, that's one thing. When also what I see here now, what they call the mass Nazis. and people, already talking. I mean, I just, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what to think of it, but it scares me.
I'm in charge.
I'm in charge.
On your ticket,
You
you're gonna
just-
go to jail.